Hey, what's up, guys? It's Nightwing Reviews, and real quick, I'm gonna mute my mic because I'm talking to be on site. That's gonna try. Hopefully, we can get him in the live stream, but I'm gonna mute my mic real quick. All right.
My computer's not on right now.
Okay. Well, just how about hang up and then go to the live stream and just like chat or something, and I'll see if I can invite you. All right.
Okay.
All right. Bye. All right. So I'm trying to get my old YouTube partner be on site in. And But so yeah, guys, today 0-1 scans finally came out and it's crazy. So sorry for the hold up. I'm trying to get my partner in. Old partner, we're just gonna join and talk about it. But yeah, it's insane. Like a lot of the stuff is cool. It looks really cool. But I'm trying to get my friend to join, but like I don't know how. Like on this should like there's no button to allow me to froze. But yeah, so if this isn't working, I have to delete this one freaking again. Alright, so for now I guess I'll just start talking about 01. So 01's gimmick is cards and they're called Progress cards or Progress. I don't know how to pronounce them. But the driver is called the DX01 driver. You know, the build driver. Last time it was a Chicon driver, time driver, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's just called that. But so yeah, so there's a total of three riders. No, four riders so far, I believe. I believe. Hold on, I'm looking this up real quick. Right, here we go. Okay, here. So it's called the DX Hidden 01 driver. Comes with an item called the Progress key. For this set, it'll be coming with a Rising Hopper Progress key, and that's his first form. Progress key. Add modern. Whoops, did not mean to do that. Okay, so put user in. What does this do? Whoops. Did not mean to do that. Dude, I don't know. I don't think you can even add these guys. I don't think you can add people on a live stream. Guess I'm just gonna have to do the live stream on with him. So sorry, guys. But let's continue the point. So, real quick, this is just to do stuff. So, the second rider is Kamen Rider Vulcan, and his henshin device is the DX Ames Shot Riser and Shooting Wolf Progress Key. All right, hold on. He's FaceTiming me. Yeah, what's up?
Hey, you know what? Why don't we just FaceTime?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That'll be okay. I'll just have him on
Hey
FaceTime.
guys, what's up? It's me outside here.
Because I accidentally timed you out, which I don't even know what that means, but dude, that's
Hey,
weird.
you timed me out, you stupid piece of poop.
I didn't know what that meant. That's why I typed whoops on the live chat. I mean, maybe after this, you can have a live stream and invite me, or I don't know. I'll see what I can do with Hangouts on here after. But so, like I was saying to the YouTube, so I was talking about how for the last 20 years for Kamen Rider, it's like the era called the Heisei era, and the last rider for that era came out this year, and the scans for the new generation, the Rewa, I don't know why it's called that, but scans just came out. So I was just talking about that.
Pause. What the heck is a pause? Hello.
But okay, and so as I was saying, guys, so this is the I think the third rider to use a gun to transform, and he uses the aim shot razor. And then so next we have the third rider, which is Kamen Rider Valkyrie, which you can get his card or his key in the Progress Holder set and Rushing Cheetah set. Also has a set with the driver. And then we have the Dark Rider, Kamen Rider Horobi with the DX Metsubo Jinrai Force Riser. That is the longest belt I've ever heard. And Sting Scorpion Key. You'll be able to henshin into Kamen Rider Metsu. Huh.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, and then so next we have the power-ups for Z1 and Vulcan. Shining Hopper and Assault Wolf. Progress Key. Cool. Other progress key for Vulcan, left to right. So we have the Punching Gorilla and Lightning Hornet. And other progress key for 01 from left to right. Flying Falcon, Biting Shark, Flaming Tiger, and Freezing Bear. Cool.
Yep.
So
looks like this Kamen Rider fuse that was on is not leaving, and now we're getting a new Kamen Rider series. So yeah. So when I was into Kamen Rider, there was Build.
Yeah, that was the second to last Heisei rider. So he was the 19th Heisei rider. And then the one that the 20th one, which the series is still going on and it ends in about a few weeks, it's a Kamen Rider Geo, which he's like the king of time, and he uses these things called ride watches, where he could access powers from every other rider, and it was pretty cool. But hold on, But yeah, so and then Build uses full bottles, which that's where I started this channel on.
Yeah, and I had a channel, but I deleted all the videos. But then I did a welcome channel. If you guys don't know, I used to be called TMNT Freak 1000 Hooks. Maybe I shouldn't have even said that, but I used to be TMNT Freak, and I used to be other ones, and now. Now that I'm Beyonce, if there are people on here that haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to my channel, and I know this.
Yeah. After I edit this video, I'll try to put your YouTube link in the description so they can go subscribe.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's continue.
All right. So, as I'm looking through more photos, there's a chance that I don't know. I can't tell. I think it's Kamen Rider Metsu. I don't know if it's Horobi or Metsu yet. I'm just going to go with Metsu. But he might have a second form. I don't know because I can't tell their drivers apart. But I'm pretty sure. Wait, I saw another picture. It said that. Which one was it? Valkyrie. Was this it? No, that wasn't it. Where's the picture that I saw about the? I don't know, but I don't remember which riders, but I think Valkyrie and Vulcan use the same device.
Let me make my camera back facing real quick. Because, I mean, you know what? Maybe I'll do that later. Oh, you know one thing, just to have a variety of stuff to talk about.
Honestly, I think the Kamen Rider Valkyrie might not even be a rider. It might be Vulcan, because I think they both have guns on their waist. So I don't know. That might just be the cheetah just might be Valkyrie, or I don't know. I don't know yet, but for now there's 4 riders. But I'll show you guys one picture because I'm trying not to get copyrighted. So let me find a good picture of him.
All right, and while you're doing that, might as well show this.
So there he is right there, guys. From our 01, and his main form is Rising Hopper. So yeah. So let's go back into the Heisei era. So it all started in 2000 with Kamen Rider Kuga, which is of all time I don't know. I'm gonna say the third strongest Kamen Rider, because it's kind of weird because I think the people that have been making the series for the past 20 years made it every 10 years the strongest rider, because it all started with him, and at the time he was the strongest rider. Then the 10-year anniversary for Kamen Rider Heisei was Kamen Rider Decade, and he is the number 1 or is the number 2 strongest rider and Heisei rider. And the 20th rider, which came out this year or last year, at the end of last year, is the strongest rider. So I think every 10 years. But so we'll start off with Kuga. That was pretty cool. He was like a ancient warrior to fight off a monster race, and then after that we have Agito, which was the same thing, and then after that was, I think it was, yeah, it was Ruki, which was, there weren't monsters in this show. I don't know. I don't remember, but this was the only American adaptation, because this show used to be called Kamen Rider Dragon Blade or something like that, and it came on a Cube for a few years, and then they took it off. But it was pretty much where they had the belts and they would show their cards into the mirror and the belt would reflect. So pretty much it was just like a whole world of fighting riders to survive and become the number one champion. And my power might go out because it's storming and it already went out earlier. But so next we have Commander Fies, which does has monsters, and his gimmick is a phone. And then Kuga Fies Blade Hibiki. So after Fies, we have Blade, which is a world of undead where it was like it started off with like a battle like in the 1700s called like the El Royale or the Royale between the heroes or the riders against the dead. And in the time period of this, these scientists accidentally awakened the dead army again. So it was up to Comrade Blade, Gallade, I don't remember the others, to save the world. And his gimmick was cards where you'd stick it into the belt. And after that, you would like pull the lever and they'd have to run through a card. But after that, we have Hibiki, which is pretty much they're like Oni. It's I don't know. They don't even say Henshin whenever they're transforming. They just say their rider name, and they don't use belts either. They use like these little blades, and it's okay. And then next is one of my favorite, which is Commander Kabuto, which there's these aliens that invade that are called the Worm that are able to shapeshift into humans to trick anybody. And to fight them, the riders use these bug like robots called Zeks. And Commander Kabuto is a beetle, and the second rider is Gatak. And yeah, it's a good series. Next we have, I think it's Deno. Yeah, it's Deno, which is also one of my favorites. It's pretty much like they use a train as transportation, but so there's these things called Imagine, which they're these monsters that kind of just came out of nowhere, and so they pretty much, just pretty much are able to grant anybody a wish, and Kotaru, the main character, meets up with these four Oni, Momotarus, Kintarus, Yurotarus, and I don't remember the other one. But they all have different powers. So there's sword form, rod form, gun form, and axe form. And its final form is called liner form, which is like the train and stuff. But it's good. Then we have Kiva, which is really good. It's kind of where an invasion of like these monster versions like of vampires. Like they kind of look more like just regular monsters. And they pretty much are like made out of like blood and glass or stuff. I don't know. It's weird. But the main rider uses a bat, bites the hand, and then puts it on the belt and transforms into Kiva. And it's pretty cool. And then next we have the second strongest rider, Kamen Rider Decade, which he uses a card gimmick. But this time he has all the past 10 Heisei riders, or 9, right? Kuga, Agito, Yuki, Fies, Blade, Yuki, Kabuto, Den, Kiva. Actually, no, he's the 11th rider, I believe. I don't know. Fuga, Agito, Ruki, Fies, Blade, Hibiki, Kabuto, Den, Kiva. No, that's 9. Okay. He uses the past 9 Heisei riders as cards. He's able to access their forms and all of that. And it's pretty cool. But so next we go on to the next decade. There's Commander Double, which he uses these things called Gaia memories as Cyclone and Joker that he puts in his belt, and it's a good show. The monsters are all off of Gaia memory, so there's a total of 100 monsters, and I think if they defeat all 100, they save the world, and it's pretty good. But I think after that, yeah, it's Commander O's, which reminds me a lot of 01, to be honest. He has all these coins, the O medals, that he uses a combination of 3 to have a form. His first form is Taka Bata. I don't remember, but it's the first form. It's Hawk, Lion, and Kickhopper. But that's why I'm saying this because that's the main gimmick of Kamen Rider Zero One. His first form is Rising Hopper. But so after O's, we have what's next? I think it's O's. Oh, it's Forze. All right, so this is a space rider, which he has the Force driver, and he has not eight, but four switches. He has to flip all of them, and then he can transform into like a astronaut type rider. And they use the switches, and each monster has like an own switch. But I don't know the plot to all of these. But after Forze, what is next? I think it's Wizard. He uses the rings, and his forms are elemental. There's fire, which is his main form, water, wind, and earth. And then his final form is Infinity, where he has the ability to use all of them. And then after that, we have Kamen Rider Gaim, which where it's like a samurai version where they have these things called lock seeds, which beyond sights here, his old YouTube channel, his icon was Kamen Rider Gaim. But we had so his main lock seed is orange. He's like an orange samurai, and his final form is where he uses he gains access. The bad guys, they're kind of more like gods, I would say, but they're called warlords, or they have like the power of the gods or something like that. But they're called warlords, and his final form is pretty much a version of warlords, and it's called the Kiwami Arms, which Kiwami means warlord in Japanese. So and then after that we have Kamen Rider Drive, which Kamen Rider Drive.
Sometimes I wish that you could mute talkback or something because I hate
Oh, okay. So Drive is pretty much a detective or a cop, and all monsters are. See, I don't remember all of these. I need to recap myself on all of these. But Kamen Rider Drive they're able to use the shift cars to transform. His final form is called Trideron, which is his car, and he pretty much gets the armor from his car, and it's like he's able to control all the shift cars. So next we have the first ever Kamen Rider show that I watched like fully, that I really, really got into Kamen Rider, was Kamen Rider Ghost. And a lot of people didn't like this show, but I liked it a lot. So it was pretty much where it was just in a world where there's monsters lived, and he ended up getting killed in the beginning, but he had like a one last chance to save his own life. And it was like a whole story, but he became Kamen Rider Ghost, and they used these things called icons or damashi icons, and each one was based off a legend of history. So he had Musashi, which is a Japanese soldier. Then he had, Charles Darwin and stuff like that. And his final form was called Mugen, which stands for infinite. And he had the power of emotions to fight, which was really cool. It was cool. And then we have what's next? We have Kamen Rider X-Aid, which was really good. X-Aid was pretty much it was where a game virus that was started by Dan Kuruto, the main villain. Well, not the main villain, but the main villain for a while in the show. Kamen Rider Gem. He's pretty much like the dark version of X-Aid. Spread the virus all over the world and made kids sick and stuff like that. So what the Kamen Riders had, they called Gashats, and I have some over there somewhere in my closet. And you would access them, and it would make the whole area a game, so you could fight them. And X8's final form was called Hyper Muteki, or Hyper Muteki. I forgot to say, Kamen Rider Kabuto was Hyper cast off, which was cool. But Hyper Muteki, he has the ability to move whenever time is frozen, and he has super strength, super agility and stuff like that. So that's why people say he's one of the most strongest final form riders, because he was able to walk through time, and if someone stopped time, he was able to move still. So next is where I think this Kamen Rider Deno Decade. I think these are the top 3 Kamen Rider shows. Kamen Rider Build is my favorite show so far. Geo is pretty good. It's really good. But Build was amazing. So Build was where there was these monsters where there was this group called Faust, and they were doing experiments on people, and it ended up making these monsters. And I really forgot what they're called, but the Kamen Rider Sento Kiryu lost his memory, and he had the ability to turn into Kamen Rider Build, which used full bottles, and his main form was Rabbit and Tank, and his final form was Genius, where he could use all of the full bottles, and it was pretty cool. He had super speed, super strength, and yeah. So to the final Heisei Rider, we have Kamen Rider Geo, which the main villain of the show is Kamen Rider Oma Geo, which is his future self, which is like a demon king of him, which he ends up killing all the riders in the past and taking all their powers. And so Oma Geo is able to stop time, reverse time, do anything to time, super strength. He can stop stuff in midair. It's insane. But the main goal of Kamen Rider Geo, when they go find him, is he's totally different than Oma Geo. So his whole main goal, besides getting all the ride watches to become king, is fighting off the time jackers, which are these 3 guys that don't want Oma Geo to exist. So their main goal is to kill Geo. So obviously, the rider can't let that happen. So that's their main villain, and their job is they make another riders, which they make monster versions of past Heisei riders. And so Kamen Rider Geo's final form is technically in the show it's Grand Geo, where he has access to every single rider's power in the past, but he has a movie coming out like every rider does, and his final form is where he gains Oma Geo's power, and he's able to access all the final forms of the past Kamen Riders. So that's where we've gotten to the point of right now, Kamen Rider 01, where as of now we know his powers are, we don't really know, but his gimmick is cards, and we don't know the whole story yet because we've just been leaked pictures and the gimmick. But we do know that there is a chance that he might be, just like Kuga was, one of the strongest riders of all time, because he is the first of a new generation. From 20 years from when this rider starts, it'll be a new generation. So we've lived out through 20 years. Well, Kenny, or Beyond Sight, he's lived through all of the Heisei era. I was born whenever Kamen Rider Fies came out, 2004. So yeah, so that just brings it to I'm not gonna say her last name. There's tons of kids named Kenny. It doesn't matter. I say my name's Gabriel all the time. It doesn't really matter. But so we've gotten to that point where so I think the strongest riders are Geo, because he's able to control every single rider, and Decade second because he's able to control. Well, now he's able to control. Hold on. All right, sorry, I'm back. But as I was saying, so Decade is the strongest rider because he can't control. He can't. Okay, he can access the forms of the base forms of all riders, but he doesn't have like the full power like Geo does. So, which is technically Neo Decade, but then we have Kuga because he has his kicks, his like final attacks had the power of like nuclear force, and his final form, Emperor or Ultimate Kuga, his his power was if he was to kick something with his final attack, he was able to destroy mountains and stuff like that. But those are the main riders. But so this is how I'm gonna put it: my top 5 strongest riders of all time, right here. So go ahead, Kenny. Go ahead, Kenny. You said you had something to do.
Start global context menu. No, it's just I do have something to do. But if you I do have something to do, but I might hurry back in about 10 minutes if you would just hang on to the screen. But first I got to turn off this Android tablet.
Okay. All right. Well, so I'm gonna mute you real quick. All right, I can't mute you. Yeah, just put the mute on your screen so I don't have to hear your tablet talking. But as I was saying, so my top 5 riders, number 1, for now, Oma Geo, because Kamen Rider Geo Oma isn't coming out yet. So Oma Geo, because he's the king of all riders, 2, I'm gonna have to give it to Decade because in the past he killed almost every rider and somehow brought it back because he's able to I don't know, it's weird. He's able to travel through worlds and stuff. 3, Kamen Rider Evol, the main villain from Kamen Rider Build, because he destroyed planets when he was in his full form. He destroyed planets, could make black holes. He could use black holes. That's crazy. Number 4, Kuga, I already explained earlier, can destroy mountains. And number 5, I'm gonna have to give it to Muteki and Kabuto because Kabuto was able to reverse time and he was able to stop time completely. And Muteki's able to run through. So I have to say Kabuto. So yeah, so those are my top 5 strongest riders. So that's kind of really the whole stream. All I just wanted to talk about was Kamen Rider 01. And yeah. So alright guys, peace out. Kenny!